Hey y'all, this is John Mattis again. This walkthrough I'm going to go through is going to be the walkthrough for Core 1 and Core 2 of 22-minute hardcore. So these workouts, they're shorter. They're not the actual 22 minutes because a lot of them they're done in conjunction with one of the other 22 minute workouts when you're doing them. So Core 1, so there's 10 moves. Core 1, all the moves are 11 times each. Core 2, all the moves are 22 moves each. So, Core 2 it can get really tough. I think Core 1 is relatively easy, doing 11 reps, and it's pretty short. I think it's like 9 minutes or less that you can do it. So I'm sort of just going to walk through some of the moves. So the first move that you're going to do is the V-up. So there's a couple of ways that you do this. So with the V-up, you lay down like this, and then what you want to sort of already like contract your core a little, and then when you go up like that. So that's the move. So that's one, that's two. And so you want to control that up and down. And so there's a couple of modifications that you want to do on it. The first modification that you want to do, which is the next level down, is you lay flat, and instead of bringing your legs up in a V, you just turn your knees, bring your knees in. So you go like this, like that. And so that makes it a lot easier. The next move is don't put your legs into it. And then what you do is just sort of just do a crunch like that and just get used to the movements. Never let your head go all the way down, just go up like that. So that will, those are some of the modifier walkthroughs that you can do for the V-up. The next move is the chop twist. And so the chop twist, if you bought the deluxe package or you bought the challenge pack in the beginning of the month, it comes with the sandbag. So you use the sandbag or you use a weight. For this demonstration, I'm just going to use the weight. I do have the sandbag here. I don't have anything filled up. What they say with the sandbag, you want to use the sand, the play sand, or what I've seen other people mention on some of the boards is they're using bags of rice and putting them in these bags, so it's a little easier. So with the chop twist, sort of in a a C-sit position, and then what you do is you bring your legs up, and then you go like this. So this is actually a little tougher for me to keep my legs up the whole time. So what I just recommend, like they show in the video, is you just go like this, like you're rowing a boat. So this is called a chop twist. You do it for 11, so it's one on each side, so you're actually doing a total of, if you count each rep on each side, it's a total of 22. Same thing if I'm using the weight, and I have the weight, I'm just going like this, and that's the modifier for the chop twist. So the third move in Core 1 and Core 2 is the Boda Crunch twist. And so this move is going to be difficult for a lot of people. So I'm just going to walk through how it works. So if my walk will get out of the way, you lay down, and then you put your legs like this. You have your head slightly up, and you have your arms here. And so what you want to do is that you want to come up, and then you want to go to the opposite knee. So this takes a lot of core strength. So when I'm going up, what you want to do is you want to breathe out when you're going up, and that will help you with the movement. You also don't want to pull your neck either. You sort of just want to have your arms like this. So if you watch, I'm just going to go up. I go to one side, and then I come down controlled. That's the other key. You don't want to like flop down. You want to come down controlled, and then when you go up, you just breathe out again, and then I go down. So you do that for 11 moves. So the next move is the scissor slicer. So this is the fourth move. Once again, it's 11, and then core 2, it's 22. So with the scissor slicer, there's two movements that you want to do that I show you. So the first one, so if you're really good, I can't even really do it, is that you hold the V up, and then you go like this. I can't even really do it. It's really hard for me to do. So I sort of do this, like that. That's sort of a insanity move. The other one that I can do, I can't do it when I lay on my back. So that's one of the modifiers that you want to do, is you lay on the back, and that'll be easier. Like this move is really tough. I don't have much control, so if you don't have much control, don't do it that way. So the two modifications, this is probably the easiest one, like that. And then also the next one is down, like that. The other thing that helps is with your toe. If you try to like flex your toe forward, that will help you with momentum on the move. So the fifth move that you're going to do is the Cobra Crunch. This one is, I think it's pretty easy. It may be harder for others. So like the name says, you're going to get down, you're almost like a cobra. Just think of yourself, you're laying down like a snake. So you see this, and with the Cobra Crunch, you're floating your arms. You actually do not have them on the mat. The regular move that you're going to do, you hold it up, and then you go up like that. That's one rep. And so you see, I'm lifting up like a cobra, and I'm not touching the ground. So that's the regular move. So one of the things that makes it easier when you're coming up, breathe out forcefully. That will help you with the movement. So with the modifier, then now you just hold up and just sort of come up like this. And then just get used to the movements, and then try to add in the legs. So that's the modifier that you do for the Cobra Crunch. The sixth move on Core 1, Core 2 is the kick twist. So this is really the bicycle. So if you've ever done the bicycle, so it's really, it's not just 11, it's really 22 if you count the total number of reps. So the way the kick twist works is you're in the C-sit position. This is what you call a C-sit. You have your arms like this, and then the bicycle movement is, and then you lift your legs. So that's going to be tough for a lot of people. So the modifier that I recommend doing is, as you can see, I'm resting my leg and I'm bringing the knee up like that. The other one is you could just keep your legs down, and then you could go like this and just get a little crunch action. So those are the two different modifications you want to do for the kick twist. So the seventh move on Core 1 and Core 2 is the rock the boat. So this one, practice when you first do it. It's not going to seem that natural to you. So I'm going to show you the two modifiers, and some of the tricks that I do. So with the rock the boat, you're in the C-sit position again. So this is what they call C-sit. And what you do is you rock back, and then when you come up, you almost come up in that V up. And so that's what the rock boat is. So it's a combination, roll back on your back, and then come up in the V up. So you use the momentum of coming up to do the V up. So if you look at it, it's going to be like this. So that's what it's going to look like with the V up. The other modification that they tell you to do, you do one leg instead of trying to do the V up. So you'll go up like this, like that, and then you'll come up like that. And then the other one, of course, the last modification is you come up and just do that. So those are the two modifications for the rock the boat. Okay, the 8th move in core 1 and core 2 is a plank roll. So I've repositioned my mat so you could better see it. So essentially the plank roll is you're in plank, you go down into a push-up and do a roll. And so that's the plank roll. So I'm going to show you a couple of things to make it easier. So when you start, you're in the plank position. So remember I told you before, you want your arms right under your shoulders so you take less strain. And actually what you want to do is you want to do a closed grip push-up, and that makes it easier. So I'm in plank, and then when I come down, I'm actually going to like sort of collapse this arm when I'm going down so I can roll easier. So if you just watch really closely here, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to come up. So you can see I'm just going down and coming up. So the modification for this, just hold plank and don't do the roll. So I would just, well actually you could hold half plank if you're not in the plank yet and just hold it the whole time. And then just try to come up in plank. So those are the modifications I would offer on the plank roll. And just remember, to make it easier the roll, when you're coming down, I sort of collapse my arm so I could get into the roll and get the momentum. And then you come back up. Okay, the 9th move of core 1 and core 2 is the flutter kick. And so it's almost like the swimmers that you've done, but you actually will flutter up and then flutter down. And then so the difficulty comes is if you do smaller flutters while you're going up, it's harder. Larger flutters, it makes it easier. So I'm going to show that really quick. So in the flutter, you lay down, sort of position your arms right under the small of your back. And so what makes it easier, remember I told you before, is turn your leg toward your body like this. Almost like you're flexing your foot towards your body, and that will make it easier. So you hold it, and then you're going up, and then that's 1, and then that's 2, and then that's 3. And so, like I said, the smaller the flutters, the harder it is. The larger the flutters, the easier it is. If you're a beginner, just do this. And then even if that's too hard, just try to hold like this as much as you can. Put your legs down and then hold your legs out. So that's the last modification for that move. So the last move of core 1 and core 2 is the belly side plank. And so if you've done P90X before, I know there's a lot that haven't because people give up on P90X because it's a real commitment. It's basically the Superman banana. And so there's a belly, there's the side, and then there's the plank. So I'm going to show the 3. And then so you start off like this, and he's going to call out what he wants you to do. When he tells you to do it, that's what you do, and that's the 1 rep. And so you're going to start like this on your belly, and then so if he says belly, you go like this. So that's really the Superman from P90X. And then he'll go side, then you just hold like this, and then he'll say belly, and then you go like that. So that's where the Superman banana comes in. Now the other thing he's going to ask you to do is the plank. And so the plank, it's not a full plank, it's actually on your arms. So you'll be like this, and then he'll go plank, and then you want to come up like that. He'll make you hold it a little longer, and then he'll go like belly, and then you drop down like that. And then he'll go plank, and then you come up like that. So the modifications, of course, with the Superman, with the belly Superman, you just go up like this, keep your legs down. So just extend your arms. And then for the side, you know, just practice the rolling like that, using your arms to push you. But really when you're doing the side, you should be able to just roll while keeping your arms extended. And then on the plank, just hold up like that, almost like it's a cobra that you're doing on yoga. So that's the 3rd way of doing it on the belly side plank. So hopefully that's been informative. Core 1 I think is relatively easy because it's just 11, but Core 2, just increasing it up to 22 makes it a lot more challenging. So you know the moves, you know in Core 1 it's 11, you know in Core 2 it's 22. So I almost like pause, and in the beginning you should concentrate on form and not trying to do it the speed they do. So you know each move is 11, so what you want to do is practice on good form because you don't want to hurt yourself, and then you're just going to get progressively better and better the more consistent you are. So as always, if you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll be more than happy to help guide you in any way.